These companies went woke and it cost them millions, their reputation, or both. Let's start with the company that changed television forever. Netflix built its brand on unfiltered entertainment and binge-worthy shows. But by 2018, things began to change. Netflix started loading its shows with woke messaging. For example, you had content like Dear White People lecturing viewers about race.
When you ask someone who looks ethnically different,
what are you?
The answer is usually
a person about to slap the out of you.
And Mr. Iglesias reducing American history to nothing but oppression and slavery.
We got 5 minutes to go over all of American history.
Wiped out the indigenous people, oppressed the blacks, did some good stuff around World War II, and now the sun is setting on our empire.
Yeah, I guess we did cover it all.
The tone had clearly shifted. Netflix was giving in to the woke mob. The company doubled down in 2020 with a Black Lives Matter collection and a raft of diversity pledges, even promising to donate $100 million to fund black-focused banks, but probably their biggest controversy was the movie Cuties. Feels gross even saying that word. This was a French movie, of course, about underage dancers, and critics rightfully said it as young girls. Hashtag cancel Netflix trended worldwide as parents canceled subscriptions. I was one of them. And this caused investors to panic. And then in 2022, Netflix was indicted. A Texas grand jury indicted Netflix on charges of promotion of lewd visual materials depicting a child, which is a state jail felony. This was later blocked by a federal appeals court in 2023. But instead of pulling back, the creeps at Netflix decided to leave it up until September 8th, 2024, when its license expired. In 2018, Netflix also signed the Obamas to a multi-year partnership to produce films, series, and documentaries. In 2023, the movie Leave the World Behind was released, produced by Barack Hussein Obama. This was one of those end-of-the-world movies, but extremely woke and anti-white. This was literally a scene in the movie.
I'm asking for you to remember that if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially white people.
The left tried to say this wasn't political, but it clearly was anti-white and was depicting white people as evil. And then we have hashtag cancel Netflix part 2. In 2025, Elon Musk reignited the Netflix backlash after reposting clips from the platform's new wave of woke children's shows that featured transgender storylines.
Banavi, tell us why you chose this delicious dress.
As a transberry, I love living out loud as my most authentic self. And I wanted to dress as bold and unique as I am, which, let's face it, is a tall order.
On X, he told parents to cancel Netflix for the health of your kids, accusing the company of pushing ideology instead of entertainment. The tweet went viral overnight, tens of millions of views, thousands of parents joining in, and hashtag cancel Netflix trended again for the first time in years. Only time will tell if this truly affects Netflix in the long run, but one thing's for sure, the right doesn't forget, and that's especially true for our next entry. The NFL was arguably America's most unifying sport. Everything changed in 2016 though when quarterback Colin Kaepernick knelt during the national anthem to protest police brutality. And if that wasn't disrespectful enough, in one of the next games he wore socks with pigs in police uniforms, sparking even more backlash.
Those scandalous socks drawing criticism from law enforcement officials across the country. Police in Vermont tweeting, "Wealthy, privileged person's free speech dehumanizes an entire group of human beings." Sound familiar, Kaepernick?
The socks that were worn, did those not seem negative?
No, that was once again, we have cops that are murdering people. We have cops in the SFPD that are blatantly racist. And those issues need to be addressed.
After this, Kaepernick became a hero to the woke left, not because of his talent, but because of his protests. He never got signed again, he sued the NFL and walked away with a massive settlement. Ironically, in the end, the NFL was the one who bent the knee because in 2020, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell doubled down on his white guilt.
The first thing I'd say is I wish we had listened earlier, Cap, to what you were kneeling about and what you were trying to bring attention to. We had invited him in several times to have the conversation, have the dialogue. I wish we had the benefit of that.
Yeah.
We never did.
And Goodell would make good on that white guilt. Helmets carried decals honoring victims of police shootings. Broadcasts opened with social justice messaging, and end zones were painted with woke slogans. Millions of fans felt lectured and turned the channel. By Super Bowl 2025, and racism logos disappeared as Trump attended the game. But trust never fully recovered, and for good reason. Because the NFL brought on Jay-Z the rapper as a live music entertainment strategist, a move that shifted halftime shows towards hip-hop, which is fine, I like rap music myself, but here's the thing. Jay-Z's lineup seems to be less about entertainment and more about politics. 2026 will be the second year in a row now that he's platformed woke talent, like Kendrick Lamar, whose performance featured themes of racial injustice. And now for 2026, Bad Bunny has been announced as the headliner. Bad Bunny is an outspoken critic of Trump. He even canceled his entire US tour when Trump was re-elected. And now this guy has the nerve to tell Americans to learn Spanish if they want to enjoy his performance at the Super Bowl.
I'm very excited to be doing the Super Bowl, and I know that people all around the world who love my music are also happy, especialmente todos los latinos.
La latina en el mundo entero y aquí en los Estados Unidos, todas las personas que han trabajado para abrir
One eternity later.
And if you didn't understand what I just said, you have 4 months to learn.
Funny enough though, Corey Lewandowski, a former campaign manager for Donald Trump, who currently serves as an informal advisor to Kristi Noem, announced on Wednesday that the Trump administration plans to send ICE agents to the upcoming Super Bowl during Bad Bunny's halftime show.
Will ICE have enforcement at the Super Bowl for the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show?
Benny, there is nowhere that you can provide safe haven to people who are in this country illegally, not the Super Bowl and nowhere else. We will find you, we will apprehend you, we will put you in a detention facility, and we will deport you.
Overall though, fans still view the league with skepticism, and one wrong move can reignite boycotts. When the NFL decided to take a knee, viewers took a hike. Now let's talk about Twitch. It actually started as a site called Justin.tv. By 2011, the owners launched Twitch.tv, a new platform mainly made for gamers. By 2014, Twitch was bought by Amazon, and eventually politics would find its way onto Twitch, and it started taking over. At first, you had people like Destiny, who originally started as a gamer back on Justin.tv. As the years went on though, Destiny would become radicalized in his beliefs and would eventually be banned on Twitch for saying this.
Your one-on-one voice trans debates lately have gone well. Don't cancel. It's just not worth it. That community is never worth engaging with. There's just no point in doing it. Like, it's too, the risk of me like ending up getting like permabanned and my life destroyed because of these like disgusting losers is like, it's just not worth it. It's just totally not worth it.
After being banned from Twitch, Destiny has since lost his mind and has made a career out of spewing unhinged rage bait. You also have figures like Hassan Piker, who is still on the platform despite doing things like interviewing a terrorist.
Okay, this is a stupid question. Okay, you can preface it with that. Does he know what One Piece is?
أول شيء بقول لك إنه ممكن هذا السؤال يكون شوي أهبل بس بسألك تعرف شو هو One Piece؟ عمرك سمعت ب One Piece؟
أكيد يعني منذ الطفولة وأنا أشاهد One Piece. Luffy.
Luffy?
Yeah, he said he's been watching it since he was a kid.
No way!
Yeah.
That's sick. Yes, that's fire. That's so fire.
And then there's Frogan, who's basically the cringe female Hassan. So right now she's reading this comment, but it's the top part that's most relevant. I follow conflicts, and conflicts I have seen horrific. Soldiers crying out for their mothers while they run from drones. And this is how she responds.
I have no pity at all for any soldiers. Distress, thank you so much. I will never have any pity for any soldiers. U.S. military? Boo fucking who? I hope you get PTSD.
Denims, who is not known for her opinions, but the skimpy shirts she wears on stream, and so many more. By 2020, the Amazon-owned service began policing speech to align with progressive politics. The platform also introduced trans pride icons and spotlighted leftist activism while quietly silencing conservative voices. In 2024, major sponsors paused advertising because of extremist content on the platform, triggering an adpocalypse that cost Twitch and its streamers millions of dollars. It's only a matter of time before Jeff Bezos pulls the plug. Oh yeah, and if you're not convinced that Twitch has gone woke, here's Twitch staff singing happy birthday to Hassan.
Happy birthday to you.
What the
Happy birthday to you.
Bro, we're never beating the Hassan runs Twitch allegations after this. This is crazy.
Bed Bath & Beyond was once the big box mecca for towels, home decor, and college dorm essentials, but that changed for some in January 2021 when the retailer pulled MyPillow from its shelves. Conservatives saw it as the company choosing politics over customers. Meanwhile, analysts warned that Bed Bath & Beyond was drowning in debt from $11.8 billion in stock buybacks. Cutting off half its customer base proved to be the final blow. By April 2023, the retailer filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, closed hundreds of stores, and sold its brand for pennies on the dollar. And just when I thought I was out, they pulled me bath in. Get it? Okay. In 2025, the new Bed Bath & Beyond, technically Overstock, rebranded as Beyond Inc., decided to make a comeback. They bought the Kirkland home brand for $10 million and plan to rebrand existing Kirkland stores under the Bed Bath & Beyond name. So let me get this straight. They go bankrupt, they sold their brand only to buy a new brand just to rebrand it back to their old brand. Make it make sense.
The company announced Monday it inked a $10 million deal to buy and rebrand several Kirkland's home stores. It also purchased several other assets from the Brand House Collective. The exact number of stores and locations weren't given in the announcement, but Bed Bath & Beyond is attempting to make a comeback after filing for bankruptcy and closing all of its stores.
For decades, Harley-Davidson's motorcycles symbolized freedom and rebellion, but that image shattered when executives steered the company into progressive politics. Beginning in 2020, the company signed diversity pledges, launched LGBTQ training programs, and even co-hosted Pride events. And this was all brought to light by Robbie Starbuck, a conservative influencer that exposes woke practices at major companies. He exposed Harley's internal DEI agenda on X, and let's just say it worked.
This is Harley-Davidson. It's time for them to be exposed. In Harley's words, they are all in on diversity and inclusion. Now let's take a look at what that means. I wonder how many Harley riders are aware that Harley-Davidson is a platinum founding member of the LGBT Chamber of Commerce in Wisconsin. This is the same chamber that says on behalf of the businesses that are a part of the Wisconsin LGBT Chamber, they opposed banning transgender sex changes for children. Harley-Davidson even hosted an LGBTQ plus boot camp at their corporate offices, and look at that sweet cake they got them. Isn't that just so inclusive? Here's a closer look at that cake for all you Harley riders out there. They sponsored this LGBTQ plus Pride event where they had a rage room, and I am not joking, something called a rage room to quote, let off steam. It was located right next to the story time area for children to interact with drag queens and the play catch with a dad for all those who had daddy issues.
Like many other companies, they backtracked. In August 2024, Harley scrapped its entire DEI function. Executives claim they were refocusing on our core mission, but there was no denying what actually happened. Woke almost killed the company. ESPN used to be the go-to sports channel. Now it's just another network trying to stay relevant while fans get their sports analysis from YouTube, podcasts, and Twitter clips. And like many other companies, ESPN went woke. In 2016, the network fired commentator and former Red Sox legend Curt Schilling for posting a meme opposing men in women's bathrooms. A year later, host Jameel Hill called President Trump a white supremacist on Twitter and was quote-unquote reprimanded. The network then pulled announcer Robert Lee, an Asian American, from calling a college football game because his name resembled the Confederate general.
ESPN has pulled a football announcer from an upcoming game because of his name, which is Robert Lee. The twist? Lee is an Asian man, not exactly your vision of an unreconstructed Confederate. Clay Travis is a journalist for Fox Sports, and he joins us tonight. Clay, thanks a lot for coming on tonight. So we saw this floating around the internet right before airtime, and my instinct was this has got to be a hoax because it's too crazy. So we wanted to speak to you directly. What do you know about this?
It's 100% true. And in fact, Tucker, ESPN has just issued a statement to me. If you want me to read it for you, I can do that. And the statement says as follows, and you may have it there to put on the screen as well. We collectively made the decision with Robert to switch games as the tragic events in Charlottesville were unfolding simply because of the coincidence of his name. In that moment, it felt right to all parties. It's a shame that this is even a topic of conversation. We regret that who calls play-by-play for a football game has become an issue.
On July 4th, 2022, the network ran an op-ed accusing America of nationalism and violence, sparking outrage among viewers. The network later launched a streaming service and trimmed some activist anchors, but fans still remember. ESPN turned sports into lectures and millions stopped watching. Walmart serves millions of working families, but an heiress nearly turned the brand into a political joke. In June 2025, Christy Walton, widow of Walmart co-founder John Walton, placed a $1.4 million full-page ad in the New York Times titled "No Kings," calling for protests against Trump and warning of dictators. Activists and conservative commentators pounced, accusing the brand of funding anti-Trump protests.
Wild. A mysterious black truck just passed out all of these expensive bionic face shields to protesters in LA, and the news caught it on camera. I zoomed in and found out this is the UVEX bionic shield. These are not cheap. They're around $45 to $65, and you can't just get them in bulk. But one place that sells them is Walmart. And why is that important? Because there's a new protest being promoted called No Kings on June 14th, and even celebrities like Chrissy Teigen are posting it, and it's in magazines and newspapers. And guess who's behind this message? Christy Walton. That's right, one of the billionaire heiresses, a part of the Walmart family. Now, I don't know why they would be behind that protest against President Trump, but remember, just less than 3 weeks ago, President Trump tweeted about the whole tariff situation, saying Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices throughout the chain. Walmart made billions of dollars of last year, far more than expected. Between Walmart and China, they should, as is said, eat the tariffs and not charge valued customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers. So, is it possible that maybe the Walmart family didn't like that and now they're finding ways to make their voices heard?
Walmart responded that Christy has no role in the company and the ad was her personal view. After Walmart denounced Christy Walton, the backlash pretty much subsided. For weeks, Walmart was a punchline. The world's biggest retailer had to publicly disavow one of its own heirs to keep shoppers from walking away. The episode illustrates how easily a brand can be tainted when elites use their family names to push politics. Playboy built an empire selling fantasies. After Hugh Hefner's death, his son Cooper tried to reinvent the brand as woke. Between 2017 and 2020, the magazine hired feminist editors, scrapped the Playboy bunnies, and replaced them with brand ambassadors and touted body positivity. In 2017, Playboy featured its first transgender playmate. It also hired non-binary and gender-fluid models and partnered with progressive causes. Because of this, print sales evaporated. The magazine closed its print edition in 2020 and shifted to an online activist brand. The parent company's stock, PLBY Group, plunged more than 80% as subscribers and investors fled. But Playboy saw the light, because in February 2025, the company quietly reversed course. It returned to its vintage style, rehired some traditional models, and distanced itself from progressive politics. Wokeness nearly killed an iconic brand. Going back to basics may be its only hope. That's right, Doritos. Doritos used to dominate Super Bowl commercials with weird, funny ads. In February 2024, the brand launched a For the Bold and Everyone campaign pushing inclusivity and LGBTQ themes, including an ad in Spain featuring a drag star, Samantha Hudson, for Father's Day. Saying that gave me a headache. People compared it to the Bud Light fiasco and launched #boycott Doritos. Then, a Day of the Dead ad featuring a gay ghost couple drew mockery from fans who just wanted nacho-flavored chips. Old tweets resurfaced from the transgender person in that Father's Day commercial, and Doritos pulled the Crunch Takes ad. Since this, Doritos seems to have pulled back altogether on adding woke politics into their commercials. If you enjoyed this video, I implore you to watch part 1. That's one of my best performing videos of this channel. Drop your suggestions for part 3, and thanks for watching.